In John 15, verses 1 through 5, it says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Any branch in me that does not bear fruit, that stops bearing, he cuts away, trims off, takes away. And he cleanses and repeatedly prunes every branch that continues to bear fruit and to make it bear more and richer and more excellent fruit. You are cleansed and pruned already because of the word which I have given you, the teachings I have discussed with you. Dwell in me and I will dwell in you. Live in me and I will live in you. Just as no branch can bear fruit of itself without abiding in, being vitally united to the vine, neither can you bear fruit unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever lives in me and I in him bears much abundant fruit. However, apart from me, cut off from vital union with me, you can do nothing. And I'm also going to flip over to the Old Testament in Isaiah 5, verses 1 through 5. It says, let me as God's representative sing of and for my greatly beloved God, the Son, a tender song of my beloved concerning his vineyard, his chosen people. My greatly beloved had a vineyard on a very fruitful hill. And he dug and trenched the ground and gathered out the stones from it and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it and hewed out a winepress in it. And he looked for it to bring forth grapes, but it brought forth wild grapes. And now, all inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, between me and my vineyard, my people, says the Lord. What more could I have done for my vineyard that I have not done in it? When I looked for it to bring forth grapes, why did it yield wild grapes? And now I tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it shall be eaten and burned up. And I will break down its wall, and itinerary shall be trodden down by enemies. What we have is what appears to be two stories of God as the vine dresser or the gardener concerning his chosen people or the vineyard. And I submit to you today that these are not two separate stories, but a continuation. In the Old Testament account in Isaiah, we see God's people pictured as a vineyard that did not produce the type of grapes that the gardener expected. He expected sweet fruit, but what he got was sour grapes. So he decided to take away their hedge of protection and allow Israel's physical enemies to take them captive. In the New Testament account in John, God's people are presented as the branches of the vine, who is Jesus, and the gardener is now charged with pruning the dead branches that are not producing rich, abundant fruit. As a result, the dry branches are not truly connected, and they're going to be gathered up and burned in a fire. In the Old Testament account, a watchtower was in the midst of it with a winepress attached. That watchtower was built either in a tree or on a heap of rocks or stones. It provided a temporary dwelling for the guard to watch over the vineyard in order to spot thieves or wild animals. Wow. In the New Testament account, we don't see mention of a physical tower because the story continues in a different fashion. If you look at John 20, verse 15, Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you crying so? For whom are you